Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most significant moves in recent Packers history. Rumors are swirling that Green Bay is in serious talks to acquire Montez Sweat from the Chicago Bears. Now, I know it sounds almost too good to be true, but the whispers coming from insiders close to the NFL suggest that a deal might be on the horizon, and it could reshape the NFC North significantly. This isn't just about adding a talented pass rusher. It's about boosting the entire defensive front, elevating the Packers' chances of contending for another Super Bowl, and setting a new tone for the franchise moving forward. Let's break down what this potential trade really means. First, the players involved and their current status. Montez Sweat is a 29-year-old edge rusher, an explosive talent with a frame and speed that are just what the Packers need to push their defensive line to the next level. Standing at 6'6" and weighing around 262 pounds, Sweat runs a blazing 4.41 40-yard dash, which is exceptional for someone his size. His production in recent seasons has been nothing short of impressive, especially in 2025, where he played 16 games, racking up 5 sacks, 45 tackles, 30 of those solo, along with 4 forced fumbles, 2 passes defensed, and an impressive PFF grade of 81.3, placing him among the top 15 edge rushers in the league. His career so far spans 7 seasons, during which he's accumulated a total of 5 sacks, 245 tackles, 15 forced fumbles, and 5 interceptions. Sweat's success rate rushing the passer is around 58%, and he's been remarkably effective at pressuring quarterbacks, with 62 pressures and 18 QB hits in 2025 alone. His win rate on pass rushes sits at 22%, a solid figure that shows his ability to win one-on-one battles and create chaos for the opposing offensive line. His EPA, expected points added, per sack is about 27, meaning he significantly impacts the game when he's on the field. Injuries have been minimal for Sweat, with only an ankle injury in Week 6 of 2025 that caused him to miss just 1 game. When you compare him to the likes of a top-tier pass rusher like Micah Mack, Sweat's numbers are comparable, and he has the potential to be a game-changer for any defense. Now, why would the Bears be willing to part with Sweat? Well, the NFC North rivals finished 6-11 last season and are reportedly carrying a cap number of around $9.2 million over the limit. They're also dealing with some pressing issues, like extending wide receiver Darnell Williams and managing their cap space. Sweat's annual salary is approximately $8 million, which is a significant chunk of change, but a trade could free up around $26 million in cap space, similar to what they did with the Khalil Mack trade in 2024. The Bears are in a rebuild mode, trying to develop a young defensive line, and moving Sweat might be a strategic decision to free up cap space and draft capital for future moves. From the Packers' perspective, adding Sweat would be a seismic shift. They already boast a formidable defensive line, but Sweat's arrival could turn their pass rush from good to elite. Currently, Green Bay's defensive line sacks total around 38 per season, but with Sweat on board, projections suggest an increase of about 5 sacks, bringing that total to nearly 48. This would be a massive boost, especially considering the Packers need to pressure opposing quarterbacks and disrupt their rhythm. His addition would also elevate pressures by roughly 65, which in turn would lead to more turnovers and sacks. This kind of pressure is critical because it not only affects the quarterback, but also helps set up the secondary and the entire defense to make plays. Pairing Sweat with Rashan Gary creates an elite duo. Gary, who had a PFF grade of 79.4 in 2025, is already a rising star, and adding Sweat would give Green Bay a relentless edge rush tandem, capable of generating double-team nightmares for offenses. Their combined FF, forced fumbles, QB hits, and win rates would push the Packers' defense into a different stratosphere. This duel could also free up interior defenders, allowing linebackers and safeties to play more aggressively, knowing the edge rush is more potent than ever. It's a classic case of the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. let's talk about the impact on the offense and the overall team dynamic. With the defense applying more pressure, the Packers' offense would benefit from shorter fields and more opportunities to score. Jordan Love, the young quarterback stepping into a critical year, would find himself with more time in the pocket, leading to increased passing yards and scoring chances. The offensive line, which has been improving but still needs to develop consistency, would also benefit from a more dominant defense forcing quick throws and hurried decisions from opponents. Green Bay's offense averaged around 210 yards per game in 2025, and with the added pressure from Sweat and Gary, that number could easily see an uptick. On the defensive side, allowing around 80 fewer yards per season would bolster the Packers' chances of winning close games, something they've struggled with in recent years. This potential trade also has important implications for the NFC North standings. The Bears, already in a rebuild, seem to be heading in a different direction, focusing on developing their young players and managing their cap space. They're clearly not looking to contend immediately, especially with their record against division rivals being 1-3 in recent matchups. Moving Sweat would be a clear signal that they're prioritizing future growth over immediate competitiveness. Meanwhile, Green Bay, under head coach Matt LaFleur and with Jordan Love developing, sees this as a chance to leapfrog the division and re-establish itself as a powerhouse. Adding Sweat would give them a defensive anchor, much like J.J. Watt did during his time with the Cardinals in 2025, boosting their overall efficiency by approximately 25% and pushing their record projections to around 11-6. Now, let's not forget the playoff picture. Sweat's presence could be the X factor that pushes the Packers from a good team to a Super Bowl contender. His impact on sacks and pressures is similar to what Crosby brought to the Raiders in 2025, where he totaled 11 sacks and was a dominant force on defense. With Sweat, the odds of reaching the Super Bowl could shift dramatically. Currently, the Packers are considered long shots with plus 5,000 odds, but if they secure Sweat and the defensive upgrades they need, those odds could drop to plus 1,800. That's a significant boost, especially considering how pressure and turnovers tend to swing playoff games. The deadline for this trade, set for November 4th, will be a pivotal moment. As pressures increase, we could see more turnovers, more sacks, and the kind of game-changing plays that define championship runs. Looking at the bigger picture, this move would solidify the Packers' defensive line as a true fortress. Sweat's addition would add depth, youth, and explosiveness, turning what was a decent defense into a championship-caliber unit. That's exactly what they need if they want to compete with the top-tier teams in the league, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC North. The Bears' rebuild might be slow, but Green Bay's window is now, and adding a player like Sweat could be the final piece they need to push for the Super Bowl. The success of this move will depend on how well Sweat can stay healthy and integrate into the team's defensive scheme, but the potential is enormous. And finally, the outlook for the season remains optimistic. The Packers are already making strides, and with Sweat in the fold, they could elevate their game to new heights. The team's defense has been solid, but adding a player of Sweat's caliber could turn those key moments into game-winning plays. Fans are already dreaming of a resilient, pressure-packed defense that can close out games and make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. It's a move that fans have been waiting for, and if it materializes, it could be remembered as one of the most impactful trades in recent Packers history. The line between good and great is often razor-thin, and Sweat could be the player who pushes Green Bay over that edge. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, the potential acquisition of Montez Sweat by the Green Bay Packers could be a game changer. It's a bold move that signals their intent to contend now, not later, and shows that General Manager Brian Gutekunst is serious about building a sustainable, championship-contending team. Sweat's proven production, combined with Green Bay's coaching staff and existing talent like Rashan Gary, could form a defensive front that strikes fear into opponents and transforms the Packers into a true Super Bowl threat once again. The NFC North will be watching closely, and Packers fans should be excited about what this could mean, not just for this season, but for years to come. The road to Super Bowl LXI might just have taken a giant step forward with this potential move, and if it happens, Green Bay's defense will be the anchor that propels them back to the promised land. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.